Welcome to the Telabs Optical LAN Basic Skills video, ONT Mapping. The purpose of this video is to introduce the features in the Panorama PON EMS that aid in the identification and location of Telabs Optical LAN ONTs. This video provides a step-by-step process for establishing a map of the optical LAN network that facilitates network operations and troubleshooting. This process can be done on established networks where an as-built form is not available. The topics covered in this video will be an introduction to ONT mapping, the process of identifying ONTs in the network space, labeling ONTs, and the method of provisioning ONT labels into Panorama. The Telabs Optical LAN network element consists of an optical line terminal, or OLT, and potentially hundreds of optical network terminals, or ONTs. ONTs are an extension of the OLT and are registered as part of the OLT by their serial numbers. Each ONT has a unique serial number that is printed on the back or side of the ONT and on the ONT packaging. ONTs can be installed in a variety of locations, such as cubicles, walls, and ceilings. Because of this, it is imperative that ONTs are properly identified and mapped in the network space. ONTs need to be identified in the EMS by their physical location, splitter port, and PON interface. This system of mapping can then be used to quickly locate ONTs for maintenance and proper service provisioning. Begin the process by creating a naming convention for the ONTs and PON ports in the optical LAN system. The names of ONTs should indicate their physical location, such as building, floor, and room or cube number. PON ports are best identified by the location of the splitter on the port. Next, generate an inventory of the existing ONTs using the Report application. Click on the first icon to create a new report job. Select New. Give a name to the job and the report. Use the ONT inventory template. Select desired OLTs to inventory. Do not inventory secondary OLTs in the PON Protection Group application. Select the IP address, AID location, equipped card type, serial number, and user label fields for the report. Enable the Schedule feature and then click OK to save the report job. Highlight the job in the list and click Execute. Panorama will create a report. Close the Job Manager and refresh the report view. Select the newly created report and save it as a CSV file. This will be used to cross-reference the ONTs in the field with a serial number. Go to each ONT and locate the serial number on the unit. Find this serial number in the inventory list and enter a label for the ONT. It is a good idea to place a physical label on the ONT itself for use when field referencing the ONT. Next, create a new ONT bulk configuration spreadsheet. The first line should have the headings OLT IP, slot, PON, ONT, ONT type, serial number, ONT label, and operation. Cut and paste the IP addresses, serial numbers, and label columns from the inventory field into the appropriate columns in the bulk provisioning file. Use label serial as the operation for each line. Make sure that there is something in the remaining columns of the file. A number 1 will suffice. And then save this file. Open the bulk configuration application in the Tools list. Use the import type ONT. Then select the bulk configuration file that was created. Click on Execute. After the config is complete, verify that all ONTs have been labeled. An alternative to this is to take the Panorama application out in the field using the web-based client. Go to Troubleshoot, View, ONT Status. Select the ONT serial number and enter the serial number of the ONT and click on Locate. Click on the address of the ONT. Select the ONT Configuration tab. Enter the user label and click Apply to save. Once the ONTs have been located and labeled, the PON interfaces can be labeled as well. In the Ports application, select the PON tab. Create a label for each PON interface that provides a geographical location for the splitter on the PON. This concludes this video. In it, we have discussed an introduction to ONT mapping, the process of identifying ONTs in the network space, labeling ONTs, and the method for provisioning ONT labels into Panorama.